Let's see.
It's some.
Oh. Now we go into the Diddy stuff. This is day 4 of it. Let's watch day 4, because I think this is the first, wait. Maybe we should watch day 3. Is that when Cassie started? Fuck. I don't remember. Opening statements. Shit, man. Didn't think there was gonna be that. I don't know which ones are the... Honestly, this isn't the smoking gun anyway. Like, okay, let's just see what he says.
Day 5 at the Diddy hearing, and we just concluded the testimony of critical witness Cassie Ventura. You're likely aware of the fact that Cassie Ventura is a longtime girlfriend of Diddy, dating on and off for a period of 11 years in 2007, 2018, and she was one of the 2 individuals that the government is claiming was trafficked by Diddy.
Oh, that's that's what they're saying? What?
Second day of cross when we broke for lunch.
They're going with that she was trafficked by Diddy? I mean, I guess, but didn't I don't. She was... It's hard to say that she was being trafficked when she was going... I mean, I guess you could say that she was... If you were to say that Diddy kept drugging her, and that... In that case, then her judgment would be impaired, and she wouldn't be right. I mean, I guess you could make that argument, but it's like... But... These are... I don't know, man.
Lunch. And after lunch, there wasn't much headway that the defense managed to get in trying to break down her story. The one nugget that they got from her is she admitted that the videos that the government introduced as exhibits, which were actual videos from the infamous freak-offs, came from her own broken cell phone devices and broken laptops. And the defense made the point, those videos were from 2012 and 2014. Isn't that correct? Yes. And you were...
Did they show the videos, I wonder?
Isn't that correct? Yes. Well, that was a point
they probably
that would be brought up and addressed on redirect. I just want to read to you the final question that was asked on cross.
At least I don't think they showed like the crazy stuff, but they probably they have the information.
And she responded, "What?" And he said, "You can't read?" And she said, "I don't want to freak off for the last time. I want it to be the first time for the rest of our lives." And she said, "That's what it says." And the defense said, "No further questions." Well, right away, the state on redirect jumped up and said, "Let's read a little bit further there," and they read further text exchange messages where she is explaining to Diddy that she is feeling emotional, that she's getting off of her meds, and that she just was dealing with a UTI, and that she never wants to have another freak off again. They also addressed the issue with respect to the cell phone, saying, "Why did you hold on to those broken cell phones for 10 years? And she said, "I knew there were videos on there, and I was afraid I couldn't take it to an Apple store because I was afraid that someone would find the videos on there, and I wasn't able to get a chance to delete them." So she was afraid to have them fall into the public's hands.
Yeah.
The state did a fairly strong job of buttressing up whatever issues they felt was
That's interesting.
knocked into
I'm
her
surprised she even.
testimony.
Some
And
people would
the
just
really
destroy
key
that
thing
shit.
that they landed was they were talking about the incident that happened when when she was flying back from
Oh wow,
from
she
Cannes
actually
to
kept
New York,
her.
and
She kept
they
fucking
had just gotten into a
evidence.
big fight while they were in Cannes. While in Cannes, Diddy accused her of stealing drugs from him and got very angry with her, threw her off a boat, and then they were at a premiere together,
What?
and he was allegedly squeezing her leg like really hard throughout the movie. And then when they were flying home, she tried moving seats away from him. After she moved seats away from him, he followed after her and managed to sit next to her. And she said for the entire flight from Cannes to New York that he opened up his laptop and was playing a video of her freak off right there on the plane in front of everyone,
Jesus.
and or anyone who would pass by at the very least, and that he threatened her that if she doesn't do what he wants, he's going to release those videos, and so this incident was brought back up. It came up initially on direct, came back up on cross, and now on redirect. The state brought up and said, "What did you do that night when you got back from Cannes? We did a freak off. And why did you do that? Why did you do that?" "Oh, because I was afraid." "And what were you afraid of?" "Well, I was afraid he was going to release videos if I didn't do what he wanted." "And was there anything else?" "I was also afraid he was going to get angry." "And what happens when he gets angry?" "When he gets angry, he gets violent." Now, that was the first real time. That's really the first incident that Cassie specifically identifies. This is a night that I spent engaged in those encounters where I did not want to do it. And the only reason she did it was because she felt that she had no choice. She talks throughout her testimony about how she was coerced and compelled, but it often is laced in with this aspiration of getting Diddy to show her love and spend time with her. And that might make it difficult for the jury to actually convict him of trafficking. However, at least now this
it's hard to say trafficking.
To no less than one night that we know for certain that she felt compelled based on his conduct earlier that day. She felt compelled to perform in a
this just seems like domestic abuse or lovers quarrel.
Any other man throughout the
well,
relationship,
more than that, right? Kink fetish bullshit
the entire
too.
time, other than Sean, and that she was continually seeking and craving attention exclusively from him, and that she never wanted to be with any of these other men. And that was designed to displace the notion that the defense was trying to plant in the minds of the jury that she was that she was sexually adventurous or was looking to engage in these adventures for her own personal benefit. Now, on recross, I should tell you, there was an electric moment which made the entire audience gasp. And they gasped harder on this than anything I saw throughout the 5 days that we've had trial so far. And that is that on recross, the defense brought up and asked her if she is expecting any more money out of this case. Now, on redirect and on direct, she had said she stands nothing to gain from this case, that she has nothing pending, she has no lawsuits pending, she stands nothing
right, yes, that's correct. Yeah, all of her settlements have been settled. So when she became a witness to this case, there's no monetary value in it for her to become a witness for this case, basically.
Gain on the outcome of this case, and that's a critical thing that the prosecution and will frequently ask.
Right, she already got some of her
in order to help show that they're not tainted by some sort of financial bias
repudiation.
Or an incentive that if they help in a conviction here,
she already got her settlements.
It's going to help them personally. And she had said both times that no, I have nothing to gain here.
Yeah,
but the shocking gasp came from when she was asked about whether she had a lawsuit with the Intercontinental, and she admitted that she did sue the Intercontinental. And she asked if she got paid money from the Intercontinental, and she said no. She said, and then the follow-up from the defense was, were you are you anticipating any money? And she said, yes. And then she was asked, how much? She's like, I'm not sure. Can you ballpark it? And she said, around $10 million. That caused the entire room to gasp. Now, then there was another redirect, a second redirect, where the state brought back up and said, but you stand nothing to gain from this case. Is that not true? Yes. You have nothing pending. Yes. So whatever the outcome here, everything is exactly the same for you. Yes.
Well,
and then there was one
like
last question from the defense before she was able to step down, and that was
repudiation has right like 3 different.
The Intercontinental, wasn't that last week? And she said no, it was a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month. And just when that question was asked, I'll tell you that the room I was in, which is it's not the courtroom, it's a viewing room meant for journalists and reporters or those interested in following the case. There was a very loud gasp of shock from the entire room. Now, does that affect her testimony? That's for the jury to decide.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's up to the jury.
Was not trafficked. From a legal perspective, you would think that it doesn't have any impact on this case. But we need to recognize the fact that the law and legal impact does not necessarily translate into how people feel emotionally.
Yeah.
So I'll let you weigh in. Do you think the fact that she got $20 million from Diddy and additional $10 million from the Intercontinental should have any impact on this? Please drop a comment below. I'm really curious about your thoughts on this.
I don't think it matters.
Every single day, I'm here in the courtroom. I'm a New York litigator, and I'm providing
why
coverage
wouldn't
that you're not gonna find anywhere else.
why wouldn't she become a witness when there's hard proof and evidence of her getting of instances of Diddy causing those things? So it wouldn't make any sense to not come forth when all of this stuff broke out in the public. It would seem weird not to talk about not to bring her in as a witness. Even if she got her settlements, I don't think it matters. Because she's not looking for any more monetary thing, right? I mean, her reputation has already been fucking tanked, right? Everything's come out about what the fuck happened, between in the Diddy freak-offs and the she was basically playing an escort in a sense. I hate to say it, but she was kind of sounds degrading, but that's what Diddy fucking did. He made you into a goddamn fucking... He was a pimp, and he made you into a prostitute, in a sense. And then he would hold these weird fucking cuck sessions. Jesus. So, yeah. This is the one where Cassie making Diddy defense look weak. Okay, I mean, we should have probably won.
Attention, Team Diddy defense. You are losing to Cassie. She is beating you. It's not even close. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what the style is. I don't know what the approach is. And I spoke to a lot of people who are just shaking their heads, wondering why it is that defense counsel Anna Esteveo, who's handling the questioning on cross here, we don't know where she's going. We spent this afternoon with Cassie Ventura, ex-girlfriend, who is the most significant witness in this trial, according to the defense. They say she's the most significant witness. And what we heard for the last 3 hours was questions about the fact that she would be jealous of other girls and her drug use. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
She took a lot of drugs. Yes. She was very jealous. I, as an attorney, can understand where you're trying to go. I'm telling you now, I can understand what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is you're trying to say that she was trying to be complicit in these freak-offs and because she was jealous and she wanted to grab his attention, or that
because she was under the influence, she was being seductive for the purpose of being
some of the parts that they were talking about,
it
seemed as if she was trying to get out that Diddy was trying to help get her off drugs, which is a ridiculous direction if that's where they're trying to go. They're trying to say how he was concerned about her drug use, which which defense counsel even admitted in some of his questions. That seemed pretty hypocritical coming from Diddy of all people.
Yeah.
And it became clear that what his jealousy was that when his concern about her drug use was that he didn't like the idea that she was doing drugs with her friends and not doing drugs exclusively
With him.
I don't understand how that helps Diddy. I'm sitting here and I'm racking my brain. They talked about Diddy's withdrawal and the fact that would make him irritable, and didn't she realize that would make him irritable? It comes across, I don't know if they realize this, it comes across as if they're trying to excuse the fact that yes, we know Diddy beat the heck out of this poor woman, but he was really irritable because at times he was trying to get off of his addiction to opiates. This is not a defense I was expecting. And I don't understand how this is a defense that
the defense
the
wants
Diddy
to go
team
that way.
feels confident
It's
that a
to
jury
protect
is going to be
Diddy.
able
Why
to
else?
sink their teeth
Even
into in
though
order
there's
to give him an acquittal.
I think the only
just
reason
don't
they did
understand
it that
And
way
she stepped
is
on some
because they
landmines,
can't like
some
explain
really
away
bad
like
landmines
the
after she
hard
spent all
evidence
day
against
trying to
Diddy
establish
of
that
him
the
in the
only
hotel doing that stuff. Right, he's caught on
Cassie
video
herself was
doing
very
that
into
stuff.
the freak offs.
It's so hard to
making her read
fucking
this text
argue
message and
against
that text
that
message, which during the early parts, going back to 08, 09, she does seem as if, some of them are sexually explicit implications that she was enjoying the freak offs. But then you come to like this text exchange and questionings about 2011. At that point, in the fall of 2011, Cassie had testified that she had gotten a burner phone and a boyfriend, and that she was on the outs with Diddy because their relationship was very on and off, and that she felt that they were on a break. And she got a boyfriend, but she knew Diddy would be upset, so she got a burner phone. And then when Diddy found out about it, he went crazy, and she fled from a freak out. And the way he found out about it was in what you would think is a very controlling way, that he's going through her phone emails and finds an email from her new boyfriend, Scott, which was saying, "Bring toiletries to my house," and he attacks her, lunging after her with a wine bottle opener clenched between his fingers. And then she has this meeting with him afterwards, and that's when he gets abusive with her, physically abusive, and starts engaging in blackmail. So the defense didn't ask about that part. Instead, they're asking a question as far as her cheating on him, which they said they recognized. They said, "You probably thought that was hypocritical considering the fact that he had lots of girlfriends while he was dating you."
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a
think?
good way to go about it. Jesus.
She didn't say that, but she's like, "You could say that. It's kind of hypocritical." But then Anna Esteveo asked this question, which, oh my God, talk about a landmine. She spent all day getting Cassie to read off these texts showing her interest in the freak-offs.
No.
And then she's like, "Well, if you were on a break with Diddy, why were you doing a freak-off?" And she said, "Well, by that point, it had become a job." Boom! It's like everything you spent all day doing, saying how she loved the freak-off, and you just got her to basically say to you that the reason she's doing these freak-offs, at least in 2011, is because she had no choice. That was her job. I don't know what you're doing. Team Diddy defense, I do not know what you're doing. And I talked to the people, the other journalists covering it here, they're bored. They're like, why are we talking about her drug usage? We know she used drugs.
Yeah.
She tried to gotcha her on over here, you sent a text message saying that you heard that your girlfriend was being dangled off a balcony, whereas you testified that you saw it. And she's like, "I know what I saw." So it's written in that report that I heard. That's what. It's not.
There it is.
I heard.
She
actually said.
So yeah, that was another contention of one of the legal in one of the court filings, was that Diddy at one point was dangling Cassie's, I guess, girlfriend at the time, or not girlfriend, friend, not girlfriend relationship. Sorry. Well, I mean, yes, it's a girlfriend. God damn it! This is why boyfriend and girlfriend shit is like not that kind of relationship, a friendship relationship. Anyways, he was dangling Cassie's friend off a balcony, or he was dangling Cassie's friend off a balcony. And then Cassie's like, yes, that's literally what I saw.
And this was actually a really funny line. Is she goes over here? You said, I heard something really crazy today. Isn't that talking about? And she's like saying, she goes, Cassie, isn't that talking about when you saw Banna being dangled off of the balcony, and you're saying you heard, not that you saw it? And she says, I don't know that it's talking about that. She's like, well, it happened the same time. So what would you be talking about when you said you heard something crazy? It's like, well, with Diddy, there was a lot of crazy things. It's like, oh
Diddy did
God.
a lot of crazy things.
I was like, this is not good.
Jesus.
This is not good. If you're on Team Diddy, and when I'm judging these things and I'm going through it, I'm trying to look at it from the perspective of whoever's doing the questioning, because they're the ones who are trying to help out. And some people were like, yesterday I was thinking that the prosecution here is bungling this case, and I wasn't sure how much I believe her. I believe her much more today. That's a foul for the defense. If the supplemental jury, and which is what I call the people who are watching this trial, because there's only a handful of us relative to humanity's interest in this case who have the benefit and the luxury of being able to watch this trial. A couple of hundred journalists who are watching this, which I refer to as the supplemental journalists, if they're saying they believe her more after watching the defense go to work, that's a bad day for cross-examination of what the defense themselves call the most pivotal witness in this case. So I'll give you far greater detail tonight on my podcast. I'm going to go through it this evening, and we'll go through it in great detail. And that's my report for this afternoon. They're supposed to be continuing tomorrow. They say it might be another 5 hours of cross or so, and there's supposed to be only like 30 minutes of redirect. So I'll give you that more later. Make sure you like, share, hit the bell if you want more notifications. There's no one giving you coverage on this trial the way that I am. So make sure you follow if you have interest in this case. I'll catch you soon. Godspeed.
Well, there you have it. And then right, since that was the end of Cassie's Cassie's basically testimony and redirect and everything. So I think they're going to move on to a new witness next. What's today? Saturday. So yeah, on Monday, I think they're going to be changing gears onto a new witness. Don't know who that's gonna be though. Yeah, we will wait and see.